Okay, so good morning, my dear children. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you a review of 2017 Buddhism paper for O levels, which was in English medium, right? In my previous video, I have reviewed the Buddhism paper part 2, which is from 2016 O-level exam, G.C.E O-level exam in Sri Lanka. And in this video is all about 2017 G.C.E General Certificate of Education, Buddhism, the new syllabus, right? Which is in English medium, right? So I will directly get to the point, right? Without going around, right? So the Buddhism paper consists of two parts, part 1 and part 2, right? And part 1 is basically the MCQ part, which contains 40 MCQs, which consist of 40 MCQs. That means 40 marks. And part 2 carries 60 marks, right? So you can score more in paper 2. So I'm going to give you a review of the 2017 Buddhism O-level paper, English medium, and especially the part 2, right? So as I always say that you have to read the instructions very carefully, right? You have to stick to the instructions given on the top of the paper, right? So read the instructions first, answer 5 questions only, including the first one and other 4 questions. And all the time, the first question is compulsory and it carries 20 marks, right? The first question consists of 10 sub-questions. Each carries 2 marks, right? 2 marks for each. So that means 20 marks for 10 questions. Okay, let's get started, right? So this is the compulsory question, right? Number 1. I'm also sharing the screen. You can have a look at the screen, right? So first of all, I would like to give you a small announcement, right? If you are writing an answer, you have to stick to the point, the main question, and you have to support your answers with facts and proof and evidence, right? So don't go off topic. If you are asked about the Four Noble Truths, write about Four Noble Truths. Do not write about threefold training, right? So stick to the point. You have to stick to the point. Okay. Let's have a look at this one, compulsory question. And sub-question number 1, who uttered the Nibbutapada, right? Nibbutanuna sapita, Nibbutanuna samata, Nibbutanuna sanariyasa yangidi sopati. When Prince Siddhartha was coming back to his palace from a visit to the garden, on the halfway, one lady from the top of a balcony, having seen the pleasant figure of this prince, this lady is uttering some kind of blissful utterance. To have such a pleasant son, the father would be very pacified, nirvana. To have such a son, the mother of this kind of a pleasant son is pacified. And the wife, to have such a pleasing husband is pacified, something like that, right? මේ වගේ හොඳ පුතෙක් ලැබෙන්න තාත්තා නිවුණු කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ තාත්තා වාසනාවන්තෙක්, something like that. So the lady who uttered this Nibbutta Pada was Kisa Gotami, right? Kisa Gotami. So the answer is simply Kisa Gotami. Right. Okay. Okay, then let's move on to the question number 7. Second one, right? Sorry, second one. Sub-question. Write the meaning of the text. Imasming sati dang hoti, imasming asati dang no hoti. So this is related to the theory of causality, dependent origination theory, cause and effect theory, right? Theory of causality, simply. Paticcasamuppada, which talks about the relativism of entire phenomena in the world, the connection, right? If this happens, that happens, right? If this does not happen, that doesn't happen. If there is a seed, there is a tree. If there is no seed, there is no tree, something like that, right? So according to this context, according to this line, Pali line, imasming sati dang hoti, if this occurs, that occurs, right? In simple language, if there is A, there is B, right? Then imasming asate idang no hoti, if this does not occur, that does not occur, right? If there is no A, there is no B, something like that. Imasming sati idang hoti, if this happens, that happens. If this does not happen, that does not happen. That's the simple meaning, right? Then sub-question number 3, name for agati. Agati yanawa, right? Going astray, right? Going, embracing the wrong path, something like that, right? Being fooled by certain negative emotions, right? What are those 4? Chanda, dosha, bhaya, moha. Chanda means kamatta, right? Favoritism. Dosha, hatred. Bhaya, fear. Moha, delusion, simply. Then number 4, sub-question number 4, write 2 auspicious facts contained in the verse Dhananja Dhammacharya Chanyatakhananja Sangaho, which is basically a line from the Mangala Sutta. So here in this line, there are 3 auspicious facts given, right? But you have to write only 2. Dhananja Dhammacharya. Dana means generosity, being generous. And Dhammacharya means behave in the Dhamma, right? Behave according to the Dhamma. Or Nyatakananja Sangaho, treating the relatives, right? So you just have to write 2 only, not 3. Here in this line, there are 3 points, right? Sometimes, Pali and Sinhala are pretty similar, right? Dhanang means dana, Dhammacharya, Dharmacharya, right? And Nyatakananja Sangaho, Nyatinta Sangraha Kriya, simply, right? Very simple. Okay, sub-question number 5. Explain briefly Anana Sukha as taught in Buddhism. So there are few types of sukha as given in the Pattakama Sutta. Atti Sukha, Bhoga Sukha, Anana Sukha, Anavajja Sukha, right? I will explain them later. Anana Sukha means simply here, the happiness that we gain by not being debt to anybody. If you are not debt to anybody, if you have not borrowed a lot of money from somebody, that means you are not in debt. You haven't taken any loan from somebody, right? So that's called ananasukha, not being debt. DEBT, INOVCT, right? When you just think about that, oh, I'm not debt to anybody. Wow. Because if you take loans, if you are debt to somebody, it's really a headache, right? And it would haunt in your mind, as long as the debt is not settled, right? It will bring you headache all the time. Then number 6, explain the meaning of customs and non-customs as mentioned in Buddhism, right? Charitra means the customs or good things that we have to do, in our life, right? Things that we have to do in our life. Varitra means things that we have to give up in our life, things that we have to go away from, right? Things that we have to stop doing, right, in our life according to the given context. Okay. Then number 6, what is the policy of administration introduced by Buddha to Vaji kings? Simply, the Vaji kings, they had followed Sapta Parihaniya Dharma, right? So simply in English, 7 factors of welfare, right? 7 factors of welfare, right? Some give Sakacha Kirima, right? Nitara Sakacha Kirima, Panauniti, Kriyatma Kirima, no Panauniti, no Panayu, something like that. Samana Bhavana Tagaru Kirima, and respecting the women, respecting the clergies coming from outside, and preserving the religious places in the city, in the country, and so on. And there are 7. Right? Okay, so that's simply, the answer is 7 factors of welfare, 7 non-degeneration facts, Sapta Parihani Dharma, right? You can write either in Sinhala, using English letters, or else you can write in English the meaning, or else you can write in Pali. It's up to you, but write in English letters. Buddhist statues are mainly divided into 3 categories, right? Write 2 of them. So yes, there are 3 categories of the statues of the Buddha: sitting, standing, and reclining. Sitting statues, standing statues, and reclining statues. Number 9, name the prose text written during the Polonnaruwa literary period on the basis of Purisadhamma Sarathi virtue and the author who wrote it. I guess it's Buddhasarana, done by Purulugomi. Is it? Isn't it? Buddhasarana. I'm checking the internet, and it seems to be the Vidya Chakravarti, right? I'm not sure about this one, because my knowledge about this kind of Sri Lankan literature is 0. I would say 0, right? Okay, let's skip this one, right? You can have a look at, or else I can just quickly have a look. Candian preach at the Nizam stories of the time of the Buddha. Hold on, I'm checking it. Once not be the Gamaitero, lower the Sangara. Not that one. I have to check it on the Google, right? Then number 10, who was the founder of Polytech Society in England? Simply Professor Professor Rhys Davids. He was the founder of Polytech Society, PTS, in England, right? Okay. Also, that is the compulsory question, right? If you can answer correctly all 10, then you will easily score 20 marks, right? Okay. Then, okay, let's move on to the essay type questions now. So remember that from question 2 to 4, 5, 6, 2 to 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, each question, consists of 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. So that means 3 sub questions. Question number 1 is kind of a simple answer, right? Just a short answer, and you can score 2 marks. And then question number 2, little bit kind of detailed answer you have to give, right? And you can score 3 marks. And question number 3 would give you 5 marks. So you have to explain a little bit more of the point, right? And remember that question number 3 always coming as a general question. You have to give an overall picture, overall idea of the entire content. You don't need to have a knowledge about the entire subject, right? But at least you have to support the answer with a few evidence, right? Few facts and proofs. Okay, let's have a look. I will be giving you more detail while in through the lines. Okay, number 1, who have been assimilated to north and south directions in Singalova the Sutta. There are 6 directions: east, west, north, south, up and down, right? So Mata Pita Disa Pupa Acharya Dakina Disa Dasa Kamakara Hitta Mitta Machacha Uchara, something like that. Mitta Machacha Uttara Dasa Kamakara Hitta Uddhang Samana Brahmana, right? So here who have been assimilated to north, Mitta, that means friends and companions, are north direction represents friends and kind of companions. Acharya Dakina Disa, teachers and students, simply a relationship. This social institution is allocated or reserved to the south direction, right? So the south direction simply represents kind of teachers and pupils. Okay, so north, friends and companions; south, teachers and pupils within brackets, right? Okay. Then sub question 2, state 3 duties that should be performed towards you, right? This is very kind of important. Towards you means you are a student. So since you are being a student, some parties or some social groups have to fulfill some duties for you. That means teachers, right? So teachers represent south directions. Okay, so you have to state 3 duties that should be performed towards you by any of the social groups mentioned above, right? So what are the duties of teachers for children? Teach the children properly. Teach the children out of love and kindness. Teach everything without any kind of without any feast of knowledge, Guru Mushti Antoro, right? And introducing students to their friends, and protecting the pupil from dangers, something like that. Right? There are 4, 5 duties. You can just write down 3, right? Teaching them well, guide them properly, and introducing students to their friends, right? Okay. Then Number 3, the progress of the entire society takes place in performing the duties mutually discussed. It's a general question, right? You don't have to, you know, be confined to these 2 directions. You can have an idea of the all 6 directions, and you can put them into this answer, right? Take the all 6 kind of directions as a main point, right? And then you can write your answer, right? So now, okay, let's have a look at this question. The progress of the entire society takes place in performing the duties mutually. Good. So you can start your answer like this, right? Fulfilling the duties and responsibilities, has been highly appreciated in Buddhism, right? There are certain social groups as given in the Singalovada Sutta, right? And there are 6 social groups which have, been given certain reciprocal duties need to be fulfilled each other, right? So when one group is fulfilling their duties for the other also will fulfill their duties in return, and there is a balance, right? For example, mm, the basic unit of the society is the family. The nucleus unit of the society is the family unit. So the family consists of parents and children, right? So the parents are obliged to fulfill their duties for their children in many ways, right? Parents have to guide their children, teach them what is good and what is not good, and provide them inheritance on time, and find them proper marriage, right? And so on, right? So in this way, when the parents fulfill their duties for their children, the children too fulfill their duties for their parents. So when the parents grow old, children look after them, and children would not disgrace the family dignity, right? And children would not waste the wealth given by the family, given by the parents, right? And children are always, careful about their parents, right? So the family unit is balanced when the duties are fulfilled mutually, right? And then again, let's have a look at the duties between the wife and husband, right? Which is also one of the crucial social unit, wife and husband, right? The wife is supposed to fulfill her duties for her husband. The husband also has to do the same. The husband, for example, should fulfill his duties uh, in several ways. He should not disgrace her, anavamananaya. Sammananaya, he should kind of appreciate her in front of his friends and companions. He should not disgrace her in front of others, right? He should appreciate her, and he should not seek love from others. And he should give priority or authority at home. Right? He should give the priority of at home to her, to his wife, right? And when the husband is fulfilling his duties for his wife, the wife is also in return fulfilling her duties properly, duly, right? She is very active. When she is loved, she also loves and care her husband and the family, right? He does everything properly and neatly, and she's clean, and she protects the wealth given by her husband, right? And so on. So you can take these examples, right? All 6 units. You don't need to write more. Actually, I am giving so much detail. You don't need to write more. You just have to convince the examiner that you have an idea about all this, right? Maybe at least one, if you mention at least one duty, that's enough. And you can just mention about uh, employer and employee relationship, right? Monks and lay people relationship. Just put one example, right? From each social group, one duty, reciprocal duty, right? Then finally, you end your answer like this. So according to this uh, evidence, according to the facts given above, it is clear that when the social groups are fulfilling their duties properly, then it can definitely lead to a social well-being, peace, and so on, and progress in the entire society, and so on, right? So you can use your general understanding, right? You can provide your answer, right? And based on the main point. If the Singalovada Sutta is the base, right, then you have to based on that point, and you have to give your general overview, general idea, right? And you have to take examples from Singalovada Sutta, right? Okay. Then number 3 is the question from Dhammapada, and you know what? Dhammapada is always coming in all of us. You will always find a question from Dhammapada and another question from Buddhist councils, right? Dhammasangayana and Dhammapada. You will definitely find 2 questions from these 2 lessons, right? So other lessons are coming randomly, right? They are coming randomly, but Dhammapada and Buddhist councils, you will all the time, come across a question from Dhammapada and a question from Buddhist council. So I will be giving you a kind of a video. I will be doing a video on Buddhist councils very soon, right? Okay, let's have a look at this, right? So, okay, again, this is basically 2017 Buddhism O-level English paper, part 2. I'm doing a review of part 2, not part 1. Part 1 MCQ is very easy for you, right? So I'm doing part 2, and I'm giving you a kind of light, right? Assistance, and I'm guiding you how to answer the paper, right? That's it. Okay, right. The Dhammapada stanza, which emphasizes the course for developing individuals' fame. So developing individuals' fame, there is one stanza. The stanza is Pamattasa yasobi vardati, right? Uttanavato satimato suchikammasa nisammakarinu sanyatasa cha dhamma jivino apamattasa yasobi vardati, right? That's the stanza, right? The meaning of the stanza mentioned above, right? So you don't need to write the clear, perfect meaning, right? You don't need to give the perfect meaning, but you can give a kind of proximate, right, idea, right? For example, Uttanavato Satimoto Suchikammas Nisammakarno, a person who is diligent, Uttanavato, Satimoto and mindful, Suchikammas, right, who does correct things, right, who does actions or who perform actions correctly, and who does not do bad, right? And Sanyatasa means who has controlled his faculties, right? Sense faculties. Dhammajivino, who live by the Dhamma, who live according to the Dhamma, right? Appamattasya subhivardadi. Their fame will increase, right? Their fame will develop. Whose fame will develop? the person or the people who live with diligent, the people who live with mindfulness, right? And the people who perform actions properly, who perform proper actions, right? Who do not do bad, and who have controlled body and mind and words. So the fame of those people will develop. So that's the answer, right? That's the meaning. Then number three, question number three, sub question three, which is of course a general question, right? An overall question, right? Dhammapada can be considered as a text consisting of valuable advices to be practiced by the entire humanity. Examine. Yeah, this is very important. Of course, Dhammapada is considered to be one of the best kind of handbook of Buddhist, where you can find profound Buddhist teachings in simple languages, right? In simple language. So you can support your answer with facts, right? Do not only think about this stanza, this specific stanza, which has just been mentioned, right? You can have the entire idea of the Dhammapada or the lessons or the Dhammapada stanzas given in your lesson, right? You can talk about kind of young age, right? How a person should spend his or her young age, right? And how one should work diligently in what way, right? In what way a person should engage, right, in social and economic welfare and well-being, right? So you can, I'm not going to give you more ideas, right, on this, right? So if the answer is given in this question itself, right, considered as a text consisting valuable advices. So there are many valuable advices. You can start, writing your answer like this. Dhammapada is the handbook of Buddhists, and there are many advices given for the upliftment of the social kind of welfare, right? And for example, nahi verana verani, right? Hatred is not seized by hatred. Hatred is seized only by non-hatred, which is a very kind of powerful, practical example for the entire world. People who are kind of waging war and arguing and disturbing and troubling and fighting each other, right, for different kind of expectations, right? So this Dhammapada stanza is a nice advice for them, right? Do not fight each other. Fight versus fight is not going to anywhere, right? So only kindness and compassion can win or overcome the sorrow in the world, right? And then you can just give example from that Acharitva Brahmacharyang Aladhaya Bunedana. A young person should spend his or her time properly. He or she should not waste the time. Right? They have to use their time wisely. So when a person is living a young age, he either should live a life of a clergy, or else he should work hard and earn money for his future betterment, right? So a person who is young should choose any of these two options, either be a monk and live a clergy life, serve the world, or else work hard and earn money. So if you have not done any of these two, one day you have to suffer and repent and regret a lot, right? So you can support your answer with these facts, right? And then Sukharani Asaduni Attanu Ahitanicha, right? people should learn more about what they are doing. Right? People should be they should be pretty conscious and concerned about their actions, right? So you can write these things. Many people are doing bad things very easily, right? It's very easy to do bad, but it's pretty hard to do good things, right? But if all the world, um, is doing good all the time, the world would be a better place, peaceful place to live in, right? So using different ideas from Dhammapada, you can support your answer, right? You don't need to waste too much time. I'm just wasting my time, right? Okay, let's move on to number 4. There are 4 divisions of karma according to the time of its fruition. State 2 of them, right? There are kind of 4 divisions of karma according to the time of its fruition. Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya and Upapajja Vedaniya, Aparapariya Vedaniya, Ahosikam, right? Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya, Upapajja, Aparapariya, Ahosi. That means effective. There are some karmas effective in this world. There are some karma effective in the next world. There are some karmas which are effective from the 3rd birth until Nibbana, and there are karmas that are ineffective, ahosi, right? So you can write any of these 4. Dittamavedani, Upapajja, Aparapari, ahosi. Then number 2, Chetanaham Bhikkhave Kammang Vadami, elucidate the Buddhist teaching on karma on the basis of this context, right? Chetanaham Bhikkhave Kammang Vadami. Elucidate means you have to explain it a little bit, right? Bit of the kind of the idea, right? Chetana means volition. Kamma is volition, right? Kamma is volition. And here volition means intentionally if we do something, right? That is called karma, right? And unintentionally if we do something, that's not going to be karma, right? And Chetana, right? Now, for example, if you are walking on the road and if you crash on a snail, right? And the snail, dies, right? It's of course a kind of a killing of a being, killing of an animal, but you haven't done it purposely. You haven't done it intentionally. So there is no any effective karma going to happen, right? So okay. So here Chetana is very important, right? Chetana means intention, volition. So volition itself is called karma, right? And if there is no volition, that means there is no karma. So, a person commits different actions, right? Kayena vachaya manasa. A person commits good or bad actions by means of word, by means of physical body, right? Why? Because of the chetana. If the intention is good, a person usually engages in good actions. But if the intention is not good, if the intention is bad, a person would commit sins and evil actions, right? So intention is very important as far as the karma in Buddhism is concerned. So since it's intention that a person leads to good or bad kind of ways, right? So that's why in Buddhism, Chetana is concerned, Chetana is regarded as karma, volition is the karma. Okay. Then sub-question number 3, explain how the knowledge of wholesome and unwholesome deeds assist the success of this life and life after death. It's a good point, right? So you have to just elaborate how kusala and akusala can bring a successful life here, now, and after, right? So you can just start your answer like this. Karma is one of the central teachings in Buddhism, and karma means intention, right? So if a person intentionally performs wholesome actions and knows that this is good, this ought to be done, this would bring happiness for our life, for me, for my family, right? And that person knows the reality, then that person would tend to do good more and more, right? That person would try to do more and more, right? And unwholesome, if the person know the evil side of his actions, that this is not good, this would bring you know a disgrace to my family and to my name, right? So many people would fall into trouble if I do this, right? So that is unwholesome, right? So if the person knows the reality and the result, the consequences of the actions being performed by that person, right? So the person would not kind of involve or engage in unwholesome action, right? So uh, if they know the kind of consequences, right? So they would not involve in bad deeds, and they would definitely engage in good deeds, right? So this very motive, this very idea, this very realization and understanding can lead to a peaceful life in this world, right? If the people know the consequence of murder, they would not commit murders, right? They would not kill each other because they love, they know the value of love, they know the value of life, right? So they would not fight each other. And then this society is going to be really a good place. And according to that good living, right, righteous way of life, that person after death will be born in a nice place. Okay, let's forget about the afterlife. Let's talk about this life. If someone does good will come back to that person. If someone does unwholesome, the unwholesome effects will come back to that person, right? That is the math, right? Just like the Newton's third theory of law, every action has its equal opposite reaction, right? If uh, I speak nicely to the world would be nice to me. Right? There is no any other kind of third options, right? There is no third option. There are only two. Do good will come back to you. Bad will also come back to you. What goes around comes around, right? What goes around comes around. There is no interference or intervention of any other external agent, right? In Buddhism, we don't believe in an agent. Agent is interfering. No, nobody's interfering. All these things are the results of our good and bad actions. What we sow, so shall we reap, right? Yadisang vapati bijang tadisang harate palang. If you plant a coconut tree, you will get coconut in return. And if you plant a mango, you will get mango in return, right? You cannot expect the otherwise, right? As you sow, so shall you reap, right? So this very understanding of karma and results, wholesome and unwholesome deeds, this knowledge of kind of wholesome and unwholesome deeds and how it affects to one's life, right? Of course, would definitely bring happiness to this world and the after. Yeah. Okay, number 5. Point out 2 facts which are conducive to the happiness of individual in this world with reference to Vyagapajya Sutta. Yeah. In Vyagapajya Sutta, there are few facts for the happiness of this life, right? Uttana Sampada, Sampada, Kalyana Mittata, and Samajivikata, right? Uttana means work hard to achieve progress in your life, economic progress, right? Araka Sampada, what you have earned uh, using hard working and untiring effort, you have to protect them. Kalyana Mittata, you have to associate good friends. Samajivakata, you have to have a balanced life. You have to have a kind of balance livelihood, not livelihood, balance kind of life means you have to spend according to your income. Do not exceed the limit, right? Keep your expense according to the income, right? So yeah, that's called Samajivakata, right? So you just have to write 2 facts, right? Uttana Sampada and Araka Sampada. That's enough. Uttana means using untiring effort and to achieve economic success or progress in this life. And Araka Sampada, what you have hard-earned money, whatever the wealth you have earned using hard working, protect it, right? So explain one fact mentioned above, right? Yeah, that's pretty clear, right? So if you write down Uttana Sampada, Araka Sampada, you have to explain any of this two, one of these two. So you can just explain like Araka Sampada, right? You write down Araka Sampada and explain it. Araka Sampada means protection of the wealth, right? Whatever the wealth we have earned, you know, hardly, using untiring efforts, using our hard working and mind, memory and knowledge, we have to protect them for life, right? From whom we have to protect our wealth? From thieves, kings, and improper inheritance, right? And from fire and water, right? So we need to have a kind of watchfulness of our wealth, right? Without just wasting them, you know. Okay. Then number 3, explain how those facts are conducive to the success of mundane life. Very clear. Without untiring effort. Now, for example, if you take Uttana Sampada, Buddhism says a person should be hardworking, right? Being lazy, right? And being idle, a person cannot achieve success, achieve progress. Even a school student has to work hard to achieve progress in the education. Just being lazy would lead nowhere, right? So this is very important. And Araka Sampada, watchfulness of the wealth, is also important, without just waste it here and there, right? One has to protect the wealth, right? And Kalyana Mitrata is also very important, right? So you have to support your answer, right, with these points, all the 4 points. Kalyana Mitrata means good friendship. It's good friends. Good friends are not womanizers, drug addicts, alcoholic, right? Loiterers, not like those people. Good friends are the friends who show you the path, who are with you in times of, you know, happiness and sorrow, right? So those people would bring success in our life. Bad people will destroy all the things we have got, right? The bad friendship will spoil everything, but good friendship will always stay with us and for our kind of success, right? So you can use Samajivikata as well, balanced life, right? Okay, so you can manage it, right? So it's very easy, right? It's very easy. Number 6, we can finish it quickly, right? Time is running, right? Elucidate briefly the facts that cause the conducting of the Third Buddhist Council, Dharmashoka, right? There had been some kind of illegal Buddhist monks, right? Fake Buddhist monks, right? More than 50,000 fake Buddhist monks who entered the ordination in order to gain profits, right? Anyway, I will be giving you a lesson on Buddhist council, so you don't need to worry, right? And name the venue, king who patronized, and the head Thero of the council, right? And the international expansion of Buddhism took place as a result, of course. After the Third Buddhist Council, King Dharmashoka had taken measures to send missionary monks to 9 destinations, neighboring destinations. That is why, as a result, Mahinda Hamduru, the son of Dharmashoka, headed over to Sri Lanka, right? He headed over to Sri Lanka with his companions, right, with his company to promote to propagate Buddhism, right, into 36 BC, right. It is a result of the Third Buddhist Council that took place in India after a few hundred years, 236 years after the demise of the Buddha, right? Okay, fine. And anyway, don't worry, I will be giving you a lesson based on the Buddhist councils, right? I will be talking about all 3, 4, 5 Buddhist councils in that video, right? So to have you a proper idea about the Buddhist councils, right? Then number 7 is always short notes, right? There are some topics given, right? And you have to write short notes only on 2. So for each short note, you will be given 5 marks. So 10 marks from the 2 short notes, right? Valivita Saranankarathero, 4-fold Sangra Vastu, Satra Sangra Vastu, the Council of Matali Aluvihari, very simple. And Sandakata Pahana, pretty simple, right? So here I have made a kind of categorization, right? Short notes from 2016 to 2020 O levels, right? Anagariga Dhanapala, Annasukha, Pansi Panajataka Pothanse, Arrival of Arhan Sangamitta. And in 2017 O levels, there are short notes for Valivita Saranankara, 4-fold Sangra Vastu, the Council of Matale, Aluvihari Moonstone. In 2018, Redukane Hamduru, Kalyana Mittata, Sadhamaratnavali, Buddha statue. See, very simple short notes, right? Very simple topics. You can easily, write short notes for pages, right? Okay. And 2020, Srimad Anagarika Dharmapala. You can find it in your textbook, right? Samajivikata, Balanced Life, Sataragati, Chanda Dosha Moha, Nekkhamma Paramita. Oh, very simple, right? So this is all about 2017 Buddhism O-level English medium paper, part 2, right? It's very easy if you know the theory, right? Okay, so I hope that's enough for today. And I'm sorry for this lengthy video, right? I just wanted to give you an idea about the paper, how to answer the paper, but you already know how to answer the paper because you have been attending classes, right? Okay, so if you have any questions, just write down in the comment sections, right? Comment below, right? Or send me an email personally. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Tervan Sarnai.